Nikola Jokic and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. We are getting ready for an all-time MVP race if we aren't already there. As it stands right now, these two are going to be the finalists for a consecutive season for this award. I've tried to avoid this conversation as I believe both are great players and are deserving, but the time has come that I cannot avoid it no longer. So in this week's episode, in case you missed it, the weekly recap on this channel that drops every Monday at 3, I will be breaking it down along with other big things from the week. Blind statistics comparison is one thing, as Jokic is averaging 29, 13, and 10 on 58, 42, 80 shooting splits, playing the best basketball of his life. The Denver Nuggets cannot function without their MVP, and he has been carrying this team all season as they currently are the 3 seed in a loaded and competitive Western Conference. This is not normal. The season he is having is unheard of. The things Jokic is doing probably won't be seen again. He is the best player in the NBA, and it isn't particularly close. However, the MVP has not been given to the best player every season, and with voter fatigue playing a part in the voting, the debate has formed, although it really wouldn't be a debate if it was given to the best player in the league every year. Jumping to SGA statistics, he is leading the league in scoring at almost 33 points a game, 5 rebounds, and 6 assists a night on 53, 37, and 90 shooting splits. Another generationally good season, and he is leading an OKC team to the 1 seed in the Western Conference right now. Sure, we can sit here and say, oh, he is a free throw merchant, but if you were to take away all the free throws, he still leads the league in scoring. He is a great playmaker as well, and I don't think we highlight that enough for him, as 6 assists a game isn't nothing to ignore. Then you consider the defensive impact he has, and sure, steals are one thing, but the defensive rating that OKC has with SGA on the court is the best in the league. SGA is an All-NBA defensive team candidate. SGA is right now in the race for DPOY as well. Combining that with his stats on offense, SGA is probably the best two-way player in the NBA this season. I'm not saying he's a better defender than a Giannis, AD, Wemby, but I look at his offense and defense together and compare it, he is the best. So I have a hard time sitting here and looking at the debate, as Jokic does so much for Denver and the team can't do anything without him, because as much as that is true, the Thunder team does struggle without SGA, and SGA does lead this team just as much as Jokic leads the Nuggets. The reason we don't take the Thunder serious is because of their offense outside of SGA and how horrid it is. Not one player outside of SGA can consistently create offense for themselves that we are completely confident in. J-Dub is an all-star, yes, but he is also very inconsistent and is a non-factor in many games. This forces the weight of the world on SGA on offense, and the same case applies to Jokic. You can argue that Jokic has Jamal Murray, who is extremely inconsistent as well, and is just like J-Dub in that regard. But the Nuggets are a struggling team at times, not because their offense, rather their defense, and Jokic is a factor into that. SGA is the strength of his team's weakness, while Jokic plays into his team's weakness as a below-average defender. You can sit there and say Jokic has steals, but steals don't correlate to being a good defender, because there was a time this season Jordan Poole was leading the league in steals, and we know he isn't a great defender. Like, that's abundantly clear. I think if you focus on defense to the extent we probably should when determining who should win MVP between the two players having generationally offensive seasons, the answer is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. I don't say that to discredit Jokic at all. I just think the race is easier to decipher when you factor in defensive impact, because SGA is so much better on that end, and combining that with his offense and team success, and even impact on team success, he is the answer for the 2025 NBA MVP. So if I were to vote right now, I'm giving the award to SGA, and it's not to discredit Jokic, it's not voter fatigue, it's simply the fact that I think SGA is the perfect two-way player, and the fact he's leading the league in scoring while being such a good defender, and being the one player on offense that a team relies on. Everything we say about the Nuggets team relying on Jokic applies to SGA on offense for the Thunder. The Thunder sit there as the 1 seed and are one of the best teams, if not the best team in the NBA. So this is SGA's award this year. And again, it's not to discredit Jokic when I say that. A future MVP candidate in Minnesota still sits at the young age of 23 years old, currently 5th in scoring with so much more room to grow. Anthony Edwards has been on a tear all season. His team, however, has struggled all season, being one of the most inconsistent teams in the league. This has been the case all season, but over the last 7 games, the team is undefeated. Coincidentally, Julius Randle made his return 7 games ago. After being a problem for the Timberwolves virtually all year, Julius Randle has completely changed things. This trend was started before he got hurt, but since returning, it is clear that he is a brand new version of himself, and Julius Randle has increased the success of the Timberwolves by switching his mentality from a score-first player to a pass-first, and even more of a role player in his mindset. Facilitating more with his ability to score has made everyone around him much better, and now that he has embraced that, the Timberwolves offense that looked horrible all season has been on a new level. This new approach to games has made Julius Randle a more complete basketball player, causing him to be more successful. And with a direct correlation to his play to the team's success, it has caused the Timberwolves to be a more successful team. Now comes the question, are the Timberwolves moving into the conversation of being a true contender, or at least a serious team in the West now? Because the one question mark all year, especially from me, has been their offense, but the stretch they have been on shows that this issue has been solved. Unfortunately, at this very moment, I still do have my worries, and I'm not fully sold on the Timberwolves offense because everything I've seen all year still matters, as the team has been extremely streaky and inconsistent. They have had hot streaks, and this is another hot streak. I have to see how well they play against much better teams too. Like this 7-game stretch where they've looked so great is against a bunch of suspect teams that are not good. The only team that is good and competent is Denver, and the Wolves have had their clear dominating successes against this team, so not much is different. Before I claim confidence in the Wolves offense, I need to see how it looks against top teams not named Denver, and then my confidence level will increase dramatically. If we see Minnesota go out and beat Boston, or I don't even need them to beat Boston, Cleveland, or OKC. I just need them to look like a competent basketball team on the offensive end of the floor. If that is the case, I will have confidence in this team and say they can make a conference finals appearance. They can go far in the playoffs. They can do things that would make them have a successful season. But as for right now, I can't say that. And it sucks because I love a lot of aspects of this team. It's just when it comes down to it, being a contender in the NBA means you have to have a good offense and a good defense. And the inconsistencies they've shown on both sides still do worry me. The future is bright in Portland, and it isn't because of Scoot Henderson, Shaedon Sharpe, or even Anthony Simons, although all three certainly do factor into that. But the most important reason why we can confirm that this team's future is bright is the star emergence of Deni Avdija. Deni has always been underrated, and I have talked about him this season in a high way considering he is a high IQ player that is coming into his own offensively and is now tearing up opposing defenses. He will be the best player on this team for the duration of his contract, which still has 3 more years on great value, but his ability to complement anyone is going to make the 3 guards around him develop to the extent that the team wants and we want to see as fans. The team already has chemistry, and this just makes the team more scary for once they develop to their full potentials. This is what we have seen over the past 2 weeks. Deni dropped 30, 12, and 10 in Cleveland. The day after, Anthony dropped 34. Against Boston, Deni got hurt, but Simons had 30 and 6, and Sharpe had 25 and 6. This week, Anthony opened it with 34. Then Deni got healthy for the Golden State game and went off for 34, 16, and 6 on 11 of 15 shooting. And Anthony dropped 32 that night as well. To end the week against New York, Deni had 27, 15, and 5, and Shaedon Sharpe had 21 and 9. What is there to not be excited about for this team? Scoot Henderson also dropped 30 in a game this week. They have so many great young pieces. And since the new year, their defense has actually looked amazing. So combining their defense that looks like it can be sustained for the future with all these young, talented offensive players, there is no reason not to love this team. And there's no reason that as soon as next season, the Portland Trail Blazers couldn't make a big leap. And it would not be surprising at the rate the team is improving. But yeah, I need to show some love to this team since they look amazing. The Cavs are on a 16-game win streak, longest in franchise history. They really could win 70 games this season. The 76ers are under investigation for being bad. That's essentially what it is. They are just an embarrassment to the league right now. That's the only way you can put it. Your Week 21 MVP is Ja Morant, who averaged 33 points, 8 assists, and 4 rebounds across his 4 games this week. The team of the week is the Memphis Grizzlies, who went 4-1, and the worst team of the week is the Sacramento Kings, who went 0-4. As always, my updated power rankings are on the screen. These are updated weekly, so feel free to check them out by pausing the video. If you are new to the channel and enjoyed, don't forget to like and subscribe, as it does help out a lot. If you want to see last week's episode of In Case You Missed It, click on the video in the upper left, while my 4 blockbuster trade predictions for the offseason video is on the right. Kevin Durant, Trae Young, and 2 other superstars are on the move in my predictions. Check it out. Y'all stay safe. Have a good one. Bye.